This over here is Mecco, but you probably know him as Boykie, and he is our big Maine Coon farm cat. He's the sweetest creature, but unfortunately he hasn't been very well. As you can see, he's got some problems going on his chest here. He got some kind of an infection and he had to go to the vets, and they had to shave off all of the hair. As you can see, it looks pretty gross. It's very damp, and he's not happy. It was very inflamed and he had a big lump just over here. I'm not sure what got him. It was really strange, but it's been probably about a week now. He's been sleeping a lot and it looks very red and very inflamed. The Boykie's a sun worshipper. He loves the heat, so we've got the aircon on, and basically he's just lying underneath it. Normally he just lies outside in the sun, but I think with his skin missing over here, and as you can see it's very red and raw, he doesn't want to be outside in the cold because it's freezing cold. So hopefully you get better soon, Boyks. We love you lots. I'm sure lots of people who've been following our channel love you lots, and they want to see this big gentle giant get better soon. Last night I went to bed at about 3 a.m. and I didn't sleep very well. I woke up again at about 8. So I'm a little bit tired today. It's a very cold and windy day, a little bit of rain. It's been raining for the last couple of weeks now, which has been absolutely amazing. Everything's looking so green, and it's lovely to be out in the fields here with the tinkling of the sheep's bells. Although now that I've come out here, they're all looking a little bit stunned. Like, who's this guy? It's the start of November, and that means that the olive harvest is happening. Now, I'm not entirely sure what's going to be happening with our olives this year because, well, they're not looking too good. So a couple of fields away, we have a neighbor who's starting his olive harvest. He's got his olive tree shaker out, he's got his nets out. He's doing it all on his own. It's a lot of work. If you've seen us do this in the previous years, it's quite a big job. So this guy starts all on his own and, well, he takes a couple of weeks and gets the job done. Our olive grove starts up this side and goes all the way down the farm. We've got some more olive trees dotted out here in the background. But as I was saying, we don't really have that many olives this year. Let me show you one of these trees. So as you can see, it's pretty much nothing in this tree. No olives. And the reason for that is because we pruned them. And when you prune olive trees, the next year they don't really produce very much fruit. They don't really produce fruit on the new stuff. So, well, on the very new stuff. So yeah, it's not looking too good. What we do have to do this year is basically prune off all of these shoots. Gina got up nice and early this morning and started. I think she's wearing a little bit too much clothing for this job.
Well, it's cold when you stand still, but when you're trying to kick these branches off, it gets quite warm.
Yeah. At the trunk of the olive tree, we get a whole bunch of new sort of saplings. And the very best way to deal with them is to stamp them off with your feet and to twist them off. And you want it as broken as possible. Oh, Eddie's coming to join. What's up, Eddie?
Are you helping?
He's helping. He likes chewing sticks. But yeah, if you do this, oh wait, Eddie, come on, Eddie, oh, out the way. So if you do this, then you leave very rough pieces behind, and those rough pieces discourage new growth. They say that you should never film with children or animals, and when you do it can get a little bit tricky. What's going on, my girl? Are you munching my camera? Yeah, as you can see, we've got tons of growth. I mean, basically olive trees are kind of like bushes, and you actually have to train them to grow up like this. So you have to prune them and cut them in such a way that they grow and spread out. Now, believe it or not, this is actually one that I pruned last year, and look at all of the growth. I obviously didn't do a very good job because you can see all of this new stuff just coming out all over the place. So the job for today is to basically kick all of these off. The ones that we can't kick off, then you saw them off quite roughly so that you leave rough edges. And all of these piles, well, actually Gina's cleaned up a whole bunch of piles, but these piles, we'll barrow them down just over there, and we're going to have a nice big bonfire. And a lot of people ask us why we burn and why we don't use it for composting or whatever. It's just because we have so much of it. We have absolutely tons and tons of it.
And we don't have a chipper, and they're very expensive. To buy one that's worth having, that would take any stick at all, is very, very expensive. Yeah,
when you try and push these through with all of the leaves and everything on, it just kind of gets stuck in there. It's quite dangerous to put your hands down there. You can use a piece of wood and try and tamp it down. In fact, we borrowed a chipper from a friend of ours, and it was like a really big, powerful one. I think it had a 500cc motor, so a really big, powerful one. And even that was struggling with some of the olive logs. And I think that's because it's hardwood.
Yeah.
So for us, it's just a lot easier if we can stick it into a pile and burn it. And these actually burn quite well, even when they're wet. I think there's lots of oil in the leaves. Eddie, what's this? Eddie. Mimo, you have it. Good girl. Get the stick. Now today's Friday, and I'm hoping that on this weekend, on Saturday or Sunday, the guy's going to come around. He's going to help us with our fence. This is a fence I've been talking about for weeks now. We've actually got all of the components to build this fence, but unfortunately the guy hasn't turned up because there's been too much bad weather. And believe it or not, this is what 800 euros worth of fencing looks like. We've got these wooden posts, as you can see, they're quite thick ones. And then we've got this stuff here, which is like extra strong. It's not like the regular sheep fencing, which you can kind of bend. This stuff is really, really strong. So it's basically for like wild boar and cattle and things like that. So we've got all of the pieces, and hopefully he's going to come soon. And we're going to build that fence so that Eddie can't escape. Oh. And these guys aren't quite the nice friendly little geese that we used to have. They're starting to get very rowdy, as you can see, and desperate to give me a nip, which is not so nice. So you're probably wondering why on earth I have geese if they all they want to do is bite me and stuff like that. Well, I had this crazy idea that we were going to get a goose and we were going to bring it up with our flock of free-ranging chickens. And the idea was that the goose would think that it's a chicken and it would follow them around, and obviously it's a good deterrent, it's a good watch animal, it's going to make a lot of noise whenever anything appears, and it's basically going to help keep them safer. Now, unfortunately, when we got this baby goose, Goose, he was getting bullied. So the rooster and all of the hens were bullying him really badly. He grew really quickly and just didn't like the chickens at all. So he started beating up on the chickens. And so we got him a mate. So now we've got a pair, we've got a male and a female. But unfortunately, we have to keep them separate from the chickens because as soon as they see the chickens, they just go for them. So the plan hasn't really worked out very well. So I think the next plan is to basically wait till they lay eggs and then we can have some goose eggs. And they're actually quite nice to have. They're at the front of our house. If anyone, you know, if like a delivery guy or anything like that turns up, they make a lot of racket and you know that someone's there, which is pretty good. So for now, I guess we've got geese. Geese that don't really serve much of a purpose. This weather is really rolling in now, so I'm not sure how many more trees there are to do, but I'm going to give Gina a hand now, start taking some of these down, and hopefully we can get some of this done before it starts to rain again. All right, hopefully this doesn't fall over. Get Eddie to carry some stuff. So this is the perfect time of year to basically burn stuff like this. The farm is like so wet and there's no fire risk of it spreading or anything like that. As you can see, as always, our helpful dogs are carrying the sticks in completely the wrong direction. Thanks, guys. So last week I put a video up on our Patreon page. I didn't have a public video on YouTube, but it actually is a public video, so you can actually watch that. I'm going to put the link up on the screen to our Patreon page. You can basically, I think you should just be able to watch it there for free without even joining up. But Patreon has a new thing now where you can actually follow our page. So you don't have to pay to become a member, but obviously you won't get access to all of the posts. But we have a little video that was up there last week, so go and check it out. And some people actually got upset, like on our Facebook page, saying like, you know, like, oh, it's, you know, how dare you put something on Patreon and don't put stuff out for free because we subscribe to you, etc., etc. And it was all a little bit confusing. But yeah, the video is available for everyone to watch. So go and check it out if you want. Oh, this is starting to look so much better. We had all this growth around the trunks and our olive grove was looking absolutely terrible. So I'm glad that this job got started today. I'm just not so glad that it got started on a day where I've only had like a couple of hours sleep. But anyway, enough whining. Let's get stuck in. Let's do this. I'm going to fight you for the last twigs. It's been such a dry, hot summer, and it's amazing how different everything looks. I mean, these fields were basically just dust. It was completely dry and dusty. The ground was almost baked into rock. And there's like lots of footage of Joaquin preparing these fields. And you can see with his tractor just how dusty everything is, how dry everything is. And when all of the seeds were getting planted and ready. And then now with a couple of weeks of rain, all of a sudden, everything's completely greened up again and looks absolutely amazing. And soon, hopefully soon, we're going to have all of the little flowers popping up and everything's going to look even more amazing. Don't you start with skin problems, Eddie. I've noticed that whenever he goes outside, he starts scratching a lot. Hey? Don't you start like Boykie. What's going on? He's scratching here, which is where Boykie's got his problem. He's also scratching a lot in his ears. But his ears actually look very healthy. You look healthy, my boy. Old slobber chops. Look at these slobbery chops. Oh, yeah. So Gina's doing a fantastic job. As you can see, kind of snaps things off. It leaves these very sharp bits, but that discourages growth. Unfortunately, these bits look too long, so I think I'm going to have to come here with a saw and saw all of these pieces off. And you want to saw it quite rough, because according to Joaquin, if it's nice and rough, you won't get the new growth. But if you use the cutters and you get those very smooth cuts, then tons of stuff grows back again. And it's really amazing how fast this all grows again, because it wasn't too long ago that these trees were all pruned, and they didn't have any of these. So it's only really been about, I'm not sure, it was just before summer that I did all of this. So maybe I got the timing wrong. Maybe because it was before summer, it encouraged a lot of growth, and that's why they look like they are now. Who knows? These ones are quite easy though. If you've got a pair of boots, you just stand on them and they snap down. And you get all those rough pieces there, which I believe is what you want. Now, not all of our trees have no olives. We do have some, so I'm not really sure what the olive harvest is going to look like this year. But before you do the olive harvest, you want the base of the trees to be nice and neat, and you want all the grass to be cut around there so that you can put nets around the bottom of the tree, and basically those nets capture the olives. So as you're in here with the olive shaker and you're shaking all of the branches around and all of the olives are falling down, they land in the nets, you can scoop them up, you can stick them in the back of your truck and take them to the olive press. When filming stuff, it's sometimes easy to forget that you should be filming things. So if you want to make a fire, you have to register it on the INCF website. And Gina's basically done that already, so I don't actually have that.
I can show you the app though. So here's the app, and then because I've signed in before, it just gives you all with the date, and then but you have to register first to get to this app, and then you just OK it. But I don't want to press that again because obviously I've just got the.
Well, exactly, yeah.
OK, but if I show you, you then get sent a text.
Yeah.
And it shows you that it's OK to burn.
Awesome.
Which is this one. As you can see before, we've had one denied, so this is.
Yeah.
It's okay.
And if you don't do that, if you don't register it, then you can get some really big fines. And of course, you can also set your farm and all the neighbours and half of Portugal on fire if you do it at the wrong time of year. But this time of year, as you can see by these clouds, is exactly the right time of year to be doing this sort of thing. Hopefully we can get this done before the rain starts. Otherwise, we're not going to be having any fires. So the sheep are in the field just over there. I'm not sure if you can see it on the camera, and obviously spread out all over here. And I must say, Eddie's been a very good boy. He's actually a very, very good dog. He doesn't chase animals or anything like that. But what he does do is that thin sheep fencing over there, he bends that very easily with his nose. He gets under and he runs around. And all he's really interested in doing, apart from licking his nuts on camera, is going for a long run around. Look at these long legs. This is a dog built to run long distance. Even though we've got a big farm, he's obviously bored of that space and he wants to explore other areas. And that's why this fence that we're going to get built, that's going to come around here using really thick, strong stuff, will mean that hopefully he won't be able to get this big, powerful snout of his under there, lift it up like a wild boar and just go charging right through. Really hope that fence happens this weekend. Now, because these branches are wet and green, there's obviously lots of sap. The leaves do have oil, so they do burn quite well, but you do have to start a fire first. So I've got some fire lighters. I'm going to grab a little bit of wood. I'm going to start a fire down there, wait for it to get hot, and then we can start chucking some of those branches on top. So I've just come down here to fetch the wheelbarrow, and as you can see by Gina's hair, it's very, very windy.
And this is a gentle breeze.
Yeah.
It's picked up massively.
Yeah. I mean, yesterday we had like some severe wind, like where the trees in the forest over here were like bending over. So it doesn't look like it's going to be a good idea to start a fire right now. And I love fire, so this is very, very disappointing. Oh, look, we've got some olives. So not all of the trees are bad with olives, as you can see. We've got quite a few on this one here. They're looking very nice and healthy. Look at that. So yeah, it's not all of the trees. It's mainly the ones that I pruned, which were like sort of a couple of rows going down here. But yeah, we'll see. I mean, I think this year, apparently, it's something like, I think it's 10 euros a litre of oil. So the price at the moment is very high. I think something to do with Spain and their whole harvest failed or something like that. So if you've got olives this year, you get quite a lot of money for the oil, if you can get the oil. And yeah, we do actually have quite a few olives on the trees right now. Okay, so I'm going to join Gina and Mimo in some hard work. You're doing some hard work, my girl. you are such a gorgeous girl. I'm not sure if I said it in one of the last videos, but actually no, I did say it. She's leishmaniasis free. So she's got a vet appointment tomorrow where they're basically going to find out, I think there's a certain type of medication that she has to take just to make sure that she stays leishmaniasis free. And yeah, look at her, all healthy and happy and very, very sweet. And this girl doesn't give us any problems. No running away, no nonsense. She's a good girl, yeah. Yeah, this is definitely looking a little bit too windy for fire action. And I think tomorrow we've got tons of rain. So, yeah, I'm not sure exactly when we're going to be able to make this fire. And this is a lot of branches. Wow. Nice. How are you doing?
Yeah, it might be lunchtime soon, I think.
Yeah, I'm also getting hungry.
Yeah.
Let's go and eat.
Well, we'll just clear that bit up and then eat.
Oh.
Yeah.
So Gina's dad's arriving in the next week? 2 weeks? What, a week and a half?
I think so.
Ah.
He's going to Porto first.
He's going to Porto first, okay. He's going to do some international travel.
Well, it's just amazing. He's never been, I don't think, so he's going to go and have a look at Porto.
Yeah.
And then he's going to bus it to here.
Yeah. And then it's going to rain for the whole week.
And then it's going to rain for the whole week. So
Hopefully not.
Yeah, there to get your wellies out.
Yeah, get your wellies. But I'm sure we're going to be able to do some cool stuff. I mean, Portugal isn't just a summer destination. There's lots of cool stuff to do in the winter.
The cities, Castelo Branco's kind of a summer destination. The
Yeah.
cities are more stuff to do inside.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I mean, summer has definitely got the most stuff to do.
yeah.
But Gina and I aren't cold people.
No, I hate it.
Yeah,
I
we-
moved here for a reason.
Exactly.
To be in the sunshine.
I know. But it's not long lived.
No, I mean this year particularly I think has been quite dark already in November. I suffer with SAD, seasonal adjustment disorder, so I feel it when there isn't much sunshine, and I think this November's probably the darkest we've had since we've been here.
It has been, yeah, just
So,
clouds and
Yeah, so I'm hoping December cheers up a bit.
me too.
Let's hope, fingers crossed.
Here you go, spleens. Oh, I just fell down a hole.
Is that an eddy hole?
It is, yeah.
Good job it wasn't a broken ankle hole.
Yeah. Cool, so we got the last little stragglers, and that is this section done. All the way up to here. Actually, no, wait, it's all the way up to here. And then we've just got the rest to go through here, and then obviously in the bottom field and over there on the side. And yeah, I think after we tip this off, let's go and have something to eat. Let's get inside.
And then make a decision about whether to continue this afternoon.
Well, you know what? I think if we can't make a fire today, we can't make a fire tomorrow probably because it's going to be raining. I've got to get this video out on Patreon early for our Patreon subscribers, and then on YouTube for Sunday. It looks like we're only going to be able to do this again on Sunday. So
I think Sunday's nice, so
yeah,
we'll do it Sunday.
and hopefully,
Decision made.
yeah, and hopefully we're going to get the fence started on Sunday as well, or at least finished,
Fingers crossed.
which will be amazing. And so I guess this is where we're going to sign off.
Yes. I hope it's sunny where you are.
I doubt it. I think, well, I mean, it might be. Let us know if it is sunny.
Yeah.
It just feels as if it's been, you know, cold and dreary absolutely everywhere. And most of the people in the comments are telling us about how cold it is there, and it's not cold here. But for us, it's freezing.
Yeah, it is a bit cold. Well, I'm warm now because I've been kicking branches.
Yeah.
It's good for the soul to kick things every now and again.
Yeah, she's been kicking trees. She's not hugging trees, she's kicking trees.
Oh, I do hug a tree. I like hugging trees.
Right, and on that note, we'll see you when we see you. All the best.
Bye!
Ciao.